Cisco has been in the IP communications business since 1997. Now, since then, we've turned boring old dial tone and hard-to-understand subject matter into full-on collaboration, integrating high-def video, mobility, presence applications, much, much more. Over 300 million phones and 85% of Fortune 500 companies later, innovative organizations continue to transform their business model. So what do we do for an encore? Well, we look for that next quantum leap in performance, ease of use, deployment options, more power but with less energy. Or to put it more simply, we virtualize it. Cisco Unified Communications does not have to be on a Cisco UCS server, but I think we make a pretty convincing argument. Cisco UC and the Cisco Unified Computing System, that's UC on UCS, are more than just two fraternal acronyms. They are two innovative technologies that work in a very complementary fashion. Their advancements have kept pace with each other, and as the dude says, UC and UCS ties a solution together. Migrating off your MCS, your media control servers, can seem like traveling across a new frontier, but honestly, many of the same SRND application layer guidelines are exactly the same. Just a few things to keep in mind before we get started, all right? You must use VMware ESXi as the hypervisor. Call Manager 8.02 or better, but either B or C series on the Cisco UCS servers, they're going to work fine. Let's get started. The MCS does a great job of masking all the products installed on it. That's what we expect an appliance to do, right? Keep things simple. Well, when we peel back that appliance software, we can see that there are actually many moving parts. 6 or more components look like 2. All native interfaces are hidden and locked down, accessible only by the GUI, CLI, or API. Now, to get ready to virtualize all of this, we need to prepare our virtual machine environment to run unified communications. A couple of things here that we notice really help. It's very important that VMware tools be in sync with the version of ESXi being used. The versions need to match. Also, don't forget to disable LRO, your large receive offload. Cisco TAC reports that engineers often forget this and the TCP performance tanks. All right, just disable, reboot ESXi, and enjoy the TCP speed boost. All right, let's move on to selecting the right OVA template. That's your open virtualization archive for each of our virtual servers. Cisco OVAs are pre-configured with the correct pre-aligned virtual disk partitions. This is the best way to guarantee that all VM configurations are correct and supported. Okay, time to put this server on the network. On the B series, it's easy since it connects to the LAN via the UCS 6100. Just use redundant 1 or 10 gig ports on the 6100 and you are ready to go. Since the C series ships with 2 to 6 1 gig ports, it's good to spread out the load a little bit. With a low VM load, you can use one pair of teamed NICs for the UC VM traffic and another pair of teamed NICs for the VMware specific traffic like management and vMotion, VMware, high availability. Here's a little trick Jimmy Ray likes to use on the C series when building his teaming pairs. One port on the LOM and one port on the PCI Express NIC. That way you're covered against a failure of either. Okay, one more tip. Besides redundancy, your link quality and speed will depend on the aggregate LAN traffic on the UC VMs. Jot this formula down. You calculate the bandwidth by simply adding the database replication, intra-cluster communication signaling, music on hold, call forward busy, media termination point, and TFTP. Sum all those up to get your aggregate. Now you may be wondering about quality of service in a virtualized UC deployment, especially with the B series, right? Well, while the UC requires quality of service to work right, you certainly have options on how to implement it. The Nexus 1000V is not required, but personally, I think you'll really like the enhanced QoS, congestion avoidance, and other features that the Nexus 1000V provides. If you've ever mapped layer 3 DSCP values to layer 2 cost values, well, you can thank me later. The final piece of the puzzle is storage, which is also much smoother with Cisco UCS. For unified communications on DAS local disks, we provide tested reference configurations with specific disk quantities, sizes, speeds, and RAID configurations to help you size it right. But if you know what you're doing, you can roll your own as well. Just be aware your mileage will vary. For unified communications on a shared SAN or NAS disk array, we recommend Tier 1 storage systems with a fiber channel class hard disk drive. Just remember to try and balance the input-output per second load, your IOPS, with your disk space use. Each UC VM is going to have its own unique IOPS requirements. Make sure your LUNs are smaller than 2 terabytes and your file system is VMFS or your VM will not recognize it. You can expect CUCM storage access on the average of 93 to 98% of sequential writes with an I/O block size of 4 kilobytes. Sound like a lot of stuff? Don't worry. Our brightest minds have documented all the resources you need to plan, size, test, and deploy your UC over UCS. Just click on over and check it out.